I'm still here. Fernanda Torres, Sayas from Brazil. We are doing an actor's breakdown of the death certificate scene. Continuing our series here. I absolutely love doing these. I think you guys dig them as well, where we just watch a scene from the movie, break it down from an actor's perspective, maybe some director notes as far as filmmaking and cinematography. But as you know, this film is being lauded as one of the best of 2024, and her performance as well. She's already nominated for Best Actress in the upcoming, as of today, Academy Awards. So let's get right to it. Called The Death Certificate Scene. And we will start this.
A imprensa tá aí, doutora Eunice. Posso deixar subir?
Pode sim. É uma sensação esquisita, né? Sentir alívio com um atestado de óbito.
Como vocês fizeram para lidar com o vazio deixado pelo seu marido?
Olha, a tática do desaparecimento é uma das mais cruéis, porque mata-se uma pessoa e condena-se todas as outras a uma tortura psicológica eterna.
Você não acha que, passada a redemocratização, o Estado tem questões mais urgentes do que tentar remediar o passado?
Não. Eu acho que é preciso indenizar as famílias e fazer o mais importante, que é esclarecer e julgar todos os crimes cometidos durante a ditadura, porque se isso não acontecer, nada impede que eles sigam sendo praticados impunemente.
Foto!
Okay, well, there's been a lot of descriptors for this performance as measured, as restraint, as a humble power. And those are all true. Those are all part of Fernandez's performance here. But I want to add that the editing and the directing also carve a performance. And this goes with everyone, anyone on film. It's heightened or sometimes ruined by an editor and director as far as their final vision. But here it's heightened. And so now we're gonna break this puppy down because this is masterful. So let's just kind of take it from the very top. So in this scene, and it's really two scenes transition, right? This is the beginning of the scene where she gets the document, and the director wants you to know what she's looking at. This is the focus. This is the focus right here. So after all that, after all they've gone through, and this takes place, I want to say 20, 25 years after the majority of the movie. We time jump, I believe 20, 25 years to I want to say the 2000s. I could be wrong, but it's a big time jump from the 70s. She's visibly older, um and this is how we started. We see first what she's seen, and we get a cut, right? We get a cut to what we're seeing, it just like her, this piece of paper that defines her husband's death, and that represents so much. She almost doesn't believe that it's in her hands. And then she minds her manners. She remembers, okay, thank you, right? A very nice, genteel smile, and then the look to family. And I want to go back because the look to family, up until then, she's been in her own world, Okay, hello, let me recognize this, recognize you. And then when she looks at her family, it's an inhale, exhale. It's a moment of like, oh my God. Watch this. And it's a nervous laugh. It's a nervous laugh after she looks at her oldest daughter, or one of the daughters. It's a nervous laugh as she comes close to her. Look at this. Look what we have. And then she gives it to her son, who they explain why he's in a wheelchair, but this is all, and then now it's shared with the family that's there.
A imprensa tá aí, doutora Eunice. Posso deixar subir?
Pode sim.
Okay, so the press is here. They're outside. Do you want to see them? Can I let them in? Right? Now she takes off the Clark Kent and she becomes a superhero. Right? She kind of like checks her face. Right? So it's three things. Eyeglasses. Eye. Sure. And then the third, wipe the nose. And smile. She's ready. Her superhero powers are in effect. Let's watch that again.
Posso deixar subir?
Pode sim.
I mean, and again, the nervous laugh again. See, this is what the subtlety of performance. I want to explain this to you guys. The subtlety in performance in American cinema is largely lost from big studios. If this was a big studio doing this, everything would be grand. Everything would be over the top, and not in a authentic way. This is how real people react. Just want to say that. Okay, so now it's a cut. We know the director has established the room, has even established this point of view when we first got here. So we're not alien to the room. What we're alien to is from us to Fernanda. He has separated us from Fernanda with 2 rows of press. Right? So there's a disconnect. And he wants you to know this is the real world coming in. This is the real world coming in. This is a historical political moment. Everything was very personal, very quiet, very intimate. That's the word. Very intimate up until this point. And she's still intimate in regards to how she holds her emotions, but the director wants you to know from this point of view, this is the outside world looking at her. This is fantastic.
É uma sensação esquisita, né? Sentir alívio com um atestado de óbito.
Okay, so obviously she's handling this and talking about this with as much grace and dignity as she can. We're talking about the death certificate of her husband, and we don't cut to Fernanda in a it's actually very rare in this movie that there's even close-ups of Fernanda. Fernanda's in the foreground, but she's off focus. She's out of focus. In the background, in focus, is her daughter, and how her daughter is looking at her.
Como vocês fizeram para lidar com o vazio deixado pelo seu marido?
And she kind of like takes in that question, like, how did you deal with the void left by your husband? Like, this is it. This doesn't. It's still shocking to hear from strangers, from the press. And she looks back at her mom real quick. And now,
Olha, a tática do desaparecimento é uma das mais cruéis, porque
okay, what the director does, what the editor, what these guys do is that they take a moment of this question. Right? How do you deal with the void left by your husband? 1,000, 2,000, 3.
a tática do desaparecimento.
That's on purpose. It's a quiet moment of her gaining her power, gaining her words, and answering with dignity and a smile in regards to the outside world, in regards to the government, the old regime.
Olha, a tática do desaparecimento é uma das mais cruéis, porque mata-se uma pessoa e condena-se todas as outras a uma tortura psicológica eterna.
Okay, so the best acting when you have your character together, when you have your moments, when you're present, is reading the words, is saying the words, believing the words that you're saying. And so we got that. We got that. You don't have to act. Again, this would be a grandstanding if this is an American film. Pure, let me stand on the box. Let me get on top of this desk and proclaim. But no, it's the opposite. And then she talks about the torture of the family, and who do you go to? You go to the son.
Psicológica eterna.
Você não acha que, passada a redemocratização, o Estado tem questões mais urgentes do que tentar
That's all on him. He's taken his mom in. Look at his eyes. He's taken his mom in. And then the question throws it back
mais
to
urgentes do que
the
tentar remediar
reporter.
o passado?
Back to her.
Não.
Okay,
Eu acho
I want you to we're gonna go
Questões
back
mais urgentes do que
because
tentar
this
remediar.
is a pretty deep question. Right? He's got the pride in her, and then he realizes this question about after the return of democracy.
O
You
Estado
know,
tem questões
doesn't the government have more urgent issues than fixing the past? Like basically saying, why should we be concerned with stuff in the past? This is kind of a shocking question, right? But that's what reporters do. And here is the response.
O Estado tem questões mais urgentes do que tentar remediar o passado?
Não.
It's very quick. It's very confident, but at the same time, she's pleasant, right? I cannot understate or overstate how understate. I mean, take this in, guys.
Passado?
Não.
All right, let's continue.
Eu acho que é preciso indenizar as famílias e fazer o mais importante, que é esclarecer e julgar todos os crimes cometidos durante a ditadura, porque se isso não acontecer, nada.
We're going to take it back. She says no, right? And then she goes into it.
Eu acho que é preciso indenizar as famílias e fazer o mais importante.
This is a very political statement she's making. And she's making it as a very composed and dignified, pleasant, non-confrontational, but yet assertive stance she's making. Absolutely brilliant.
Que é esclarecer e julgar todos os crimes cometidos durante a ditadura, porque se isso não acontecer, nada.
And now that dignity, that superpower that she has, the daughter sees it again.
Nada impede que eles sigam sendo praticados impunemente.
So she's making a very strong declaration that if you don't compensate these families, if you don't take care of the past, this will continue in the future again. These are very big declarations to make, but this is made from a family, almost normal people. And the daughter takes it in.
Photo.
Now, realize this. Since the start of the press conference, they haven't looked at each other. Her daughter, her son have taken her in, taken her words, watching her, do this press conference. Then there's a photo with the death certificate and the smile, and watch them reconnect. Ah, amazing. Another nervous laugh. Absolutely. A subtle performance that's so powerful in its simplicity, and it's in Fernanda's honesty. I just don't see. There's a couple of American directors that can pull it off. I just don't see, in a big studio point of view, if they were to redo this. I mean, it would just be. It would be all the things like against the government. It would be all the exteriors, and the interiors is that this family was decimated. This family was destroyed. She was tortured. She went through all this, and she finally got the death certificate, which is a recognition that this past government did her family wrong. And in this moment, There was no anger. There was no screaming or rage. It was very clear. It was very dignified and yet powerful. Okay, that's our actors. That's our actors. Breakdown as far as actors' analysis of the scene, and this another incredible scene from this movie. Highly encourage if you haven't seen this movie yet. I'm still here. We also have other actors' analysis of other scenes as well. We will put that. In fact, let's show you the one right now. Let's take you to the video. Watch our videos of Monica Barbaro in a complete unknown, where she performs as Joan Baez against Timothy Chalamet's Bob Dylan. Let's go to that video right now, wherever you're at. Keep your slant fuerte. Gracias.